The EP Podcast. Heard everywhere podcasts can be found, and always at theeppodcast.com.
Sitting down here at the 9-foot homemade oak bar is Colleen Klimczak, your local Evergreen Park professional organizer, also does her own podcast, Your Organized Life, down here at the broadcast basement. And I just have her here today to just kind of chat. I want to get in a little bit to Thanksgiving,
okay,
which can be overwhelming.
Yes.
I just had a problem this past weekend throwing a birthday party. And I want to get into that with you on this show. Glenn Panuski from The Village going to be on to talk about Dickens Fest and some other things coming up you're going to want to hear about. And Colleen is going to get into Thanksgiving with me as well. This is all brought to you by the First National Bank of Evergreen Park. They invest in the EP community. After all, they love this area as much as you do. Plus, their Total Access checking account gives you free ATMs nationwide, a $300 bonus with qualifying activities, and there are no overdraft charges at the First National Bank of Evergreen Park. They have a great mobile banking app, award-winning customer service. It's so much fun to walk in there. Honestly, I didn't know you could have fun walking into a bank until I met the people there. They know you when you walk in. They say, hey, what's going on? How are the kids? Going into that iconic building in 95th and Pulaski is just like going into a bank when I was a kid with my grandpa. And that's helpful because there's always something that pops up, and it's good to have somebody you know when you need their help. Stop in and see them today, 95th and Pulaski, the First National Bank of Evergreen Park, member FDIC. So I threw this birthday party.
Okay.
I thought I knew what I was doing, right? Like my daughter Audrey turned 18 years old. And
Happy
first of all,
birthday.
Oh, and if you want to feel old, and you know this, Colleen, because you have kids that are over 18 years old.
All of my kids are over 18.
Right. Nothing makes you feel more old than the idea that a child has made it to 18, I think.
I have 3 grown adults. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I have felt old all week. I feel old today. I'm old. Now,
we're not old, Chris. No.
Oh, no.
We just happen to have adult children.
I'm an old man. I'm going to start wearing slippers all the time and a robe. And just like my grandfather, everything's going to be flannel from now until they put me in the ground. I'm an old man now. Can't wait to get my bifocals. So the thing is, though, this is the first time I've ever thrown a party. In 18 years, I have not thrown a party in my house. It was always my wife.
Okay.
But as we've talked about on the show before, I'm getting a divorce, and all the kids are with me. It's been like that for the last 3 months.
Yeah.
And I have never thrown a party. And so it was funny to watch my mother and my sister come into the house.
Okay.
Totally prepared for me to have forgotten things.
Okay.
Like my mom had 18 for the candle. She had 2 candles with a 1 and an 8.
She came prepared for just in case.
Right. And I was like, but I have that. And then she just looked at me. She's like, well, we'll use mine. I'm like, but I had them, right? And so like in my mind, I thought like, I'll just get some pizza. I was like, what kind of pizza you want, sweetheart? And she likes deep dish. So we got our Lou Malnati's.
Nice.
Okay. She likes that. And then she wanted, instead of a cake, she wanted nothing bunt cakes.
Perfect.
So we did that.
Everybody gets their own size. Perfect.
Yes.
Love it.
And I was like, that's all I need. And then I just have to make sure that the bar is stocked for the adults that are coming over.
Absolutely.
And that there has to be pop for the kids. And I had some chips and some pretzels. And I was like, I'm done.
Sounds good.
I was not done.
Oh.
It was clear that I had forgotten things.
Okay.
Like my sister walks in and she's like, you have no appetizers? I'm like, I have chips and I have pretzels. And she just opens up a cooler that she walked in with. The cooler not only had her husband's and hers alcoholic, like what they wanted to bring, right?
That's a magic cooler.
Like they didn't believe that I had anything for them. That's I think there was a disbelief that I could do this.
Okay.
They brought their own booze.
I mean, hey, that's a magic cooler. I think that sounds great.
They brought their own meats and cheeses.
Okay.
And then she's like, do you have a platter? And then she sat there and she made her appetizer trays.
Lovely.
For me.
Okay.
My dad walked in with his own bottle of wine. Like the man didn't think I had wine for him. He walked in with his own bottle.
Has he not been down to the homemade
I know.
bar?
Like the belief must have been that since he's on his own, there will be nothing at this party.
You've been at the parties for 18 years.
I know.
Yeah, okay.
Clearly the belief is that I can't do this.
Okay.
Colleen.
And it sounds like you did all the things.
I felt like I had everything.
Sure.
Like I was good to go.
Oh my God.
But that's how the whole thing went. So it was my first party.
Good for
I
you.
feel like it went well.
Okay.
I didn't have to do any dishes because everybody wanted to take care of me, which was very nice of them.
That sounds awesome.
That was awesome.
Anytime they want to come to my house, that sounds great.
It was a party in which the guests all wanted to take care of me, so everything was clean before they left. Even
And
though I
most
kept saying, knock it
importantly,
off.
happy birthday to your daughter.
Yeah.
Right? Like, as long as she felt celebrated, that's the most important.
And the thing is, like, she led right up to her birthday. She was in the pit. For 4 years, she did that over at Mother Macaulay when they do their play.
My
they did
boys were in the pit. Yep.
Big production of Chicago was this past weekend. It was really good. And she was in it. She was playing two different instruments because that's how talented she is.
She is.
And she was like her section leader in the thing. And
Of course.
It's all she wanted. And now, like the day after, it's noon. She's still in bed because Macaulay's off this whole week.
And she should be.
And she's like exhausted afterwards, but she's 18 years old. We've had the conversation already where she's like, I'm 18, I do what I want. And I laughed and I was like, you could pay rent?
You can do some things that you... Did I mention I have grown children?
Right.
Yeah, Some things work, some things don't.
Right.
So,
This 18, I do what I want thing, that ain't going to happen.
not in my car, not with my... Yeah.
Right. I was like, you
Fill in
technically
the
don't
blank.
have a legal curfew anymore, but my car does.
Right?
And the house is locked and chained by a certain time. So in the snow this winter, if you want to sleep, then of course come
Not
home
in the
later.
car.
Yeah, come home later than I tell you to come home.
And
So-
she's not a rebellious, crazy.
She
like,
laughed at me and she'll be fine.
Yeah, she's not that kind of person.
She
so.
laughed and she'll be fine.
Oh,
All right.
that's awesome.
So I wanted to have you in here
Yeah.
to talk a little bit about Thanksgiving.
Okay.
I will not be doing anything for Thanksgiving. Like, my sister won't even ask me to bring anything. I keep going, what do you want? She's like, you're going through a lot. I got it all.
Nice.
Like, I can bring something. No. And I think the belief is that I will bring something that's terrible. So why even make him bring it, right? Like, if Chris makes something, it's going to be bad. If Chris buys something, it's going to be out of place. So let's just tell him not to worry about it. That's kind of the feeling I'm getting.
You're doing fine.
So, but if you are throwing a party, as a lot of people are,
Yes.
what's your top advice as a professional organizer for people that are having the family over and diving into this Thursday, things they may never have thought of if they have even thrown a Thanksgiving before?
I love it. Okay. So this comes out on Tuesday.
Yeah.
There is still time. Take a deep breath, my friends. There's absolutely still time. There's a whole lot of things that you can do not on Thanksgiving Day. So I'm taking it on the road. I'm doing...
Buy the turkey. You got to buy that not on Thanksgiving. Don't buy that on Thanksgiving Day.
No, and he needs to be thawing or thawed at this point. Like, who are we kidding? But there are so many recipes that can be made. So one of our favorite make ahead mashed potatoes, you can make it like a week ahead and freeze them. I'm taking all of it on the road. I'm going to Michigan with my family. And I've already cleaned the green beans and the asparagus, and they're in baggies, ready to go in the cooler to take with me on Wednesday when we go. Like, there's so many things that you can absolutely prep and do ahead of time to save yourself time and aggravation on Thanksgiving morning.
So you're saying cook the food in advance?
Well, if you can,
I think
you
most
can.
people would sit there and say, "Well, how do I know it's gonna taste different if I cook it?"
Like
that's my
make ahead
first
mashed
thing.
potatoes, and again, Google it. Make ahead mashed potatoes. They're delicious. You can freeze them. It's whatever. But you can make the pie the day before. You can clean the vegetables. Like, I'm cleaning the vegetables. I already cleaned the asparagus and the green beans, and they're all ready to go in the cooler to go to my dad's to go in a steamer basket 20 minutes before dinner. Done, right? Like, all of that kind of stuff. I can toast the almonds because it's going to be green bean almondine. Like, there's a lot of things that can be done ahead of time. There's some things that can't be done ahead of time. And just kind of knowing, like, if you look at your list, yes, you should have a list. But looking at the list and saying, okay, what is absolutely morning of and what could be any time leading up to that. Washing the dishes to go, if you have like nice things you want to take out and they're a little dusty, you could do that right now. Or you could do that Thursday morning. It's up to you, but if doing it right now would save you some aggravation, by all means, get those things knocked out earlier. What I also want to remind all of us is now is not the time to aggravate ourselves or our family members.
I keep thinking about the fact that you're going to another location and you're bringing food.
I am.
And I know one of the things that I have noticed in my life, not only in my own home, but with other family members and as an adult, and even as a child, I would see these arguments break out.
Oh, no.
Somebody shows up while the dinner is being cooked and they've got something they need to put in the stove and there's
no
room. But
oh
they're like, well, I made this such and such. And everybody's like,
it just has to cook for 4 hours.
Right, exactly. Like,
at 200 degrees, which nothing else has to cook.
I've seen it. I've seen it happen before. So
did you
plan in advance with the people that you're going and seeing in Michigan? Like, hey, I need so much space.
Yes.
Do we have it?
Yes.
I need a burner and like a little bit of space in the stove.
All of those
advance.
things. Yes. Yeah. Those are already, there's a plan. Very little goes in the oven other than the turkey. Like other than like my corn casserole, which everybody loves anyway. Everything else is either stovetop or will come already
We've
cooked.
moved the turkey to the grill in recent years.
Oh, nice. See,
and
there you go.
You know, people think, oh, you'll get grill marks. No, basically a grill is like an oven. You're not going to open it up and you're going to keep it on a gas grill and you're going to set it up. You can use that as the oven. You can also use that to heat up other people's stuff. So it's like your extra stove.
I love it. No, that's brilliant. So there are absolutely things. Yes, in theory, everything should come almost ready to go. Either be assembled or on the, into the oven. Not too many things though. And the other part is so like we're leaving town on Wednesday. Now is not the time for me to decide to redo my bathroom.
Mm-mm.
Right? Or if everybody was coming to my house the 2 days before Thanksgiving would not be the time to, I think we're going to, rehang the curtains or paint a wall
right,
or take the car for brakes the day before Thanksgiving, or like, I just saw a video and it was, it was a joke, but it was the mom saying, okay, Thanksgiving's tomorrow. I need some help with cooking and cleaning. And the dad was outside blowing the leaves off the roof with a leaf blower, right? Like, so not.
But this is the kind of stuff that I would be doing. See?
Which I'm just saying.
I mean, I'm getting out of this house because I'll be honest with you, man, if I'm not cooking anything, like you just heard at the beginning of this, I was not involved in making sure. Like my mother showed up with the happy birthday plates because she knew I didn't have them. She knew I didn't have them. I was just like, we got plates. We'll just use those. You got to have happy birthday plates. You got to have happy birthday napkins, right? Well,
like I could see it both ways.
I was not that person,
no,
right?
I'm good.
I wasn't that. So like for me, I was never the person that was going to be making something.
Sure.
So I was like, time to get out of the way. Yes. So I would go find a place to be. The only time I ever made anything was the year that I decided I was going to smoke a turkey.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, except for the fact that when you smoke a turkey, it depends on the outside temperature with the smoker.
Oh, no.
So all of a sudden we were having turkey dinner at 8 o'clock at night because it took that long to get it to the temperature. Like I cooked that thing for like 12 hours because it was cold outside. So there's your warning on smoked turkey. You may need to move it eventually to the grill or the oven to finish it off.
Fair enough.
Because. So that's the only pro tip I have. That's why Colleen's here for the rest of it.
So we just had a wedding in the family. I'm going to use this as an example. And the list was long of things that needed to happen because we had people come in the morning of and there was like food to feed them, but I wasn't going to be home because I had to go do girl stuff and whatever. So I had on a cabinet door in my kitchen, I had Post-it notes, and it was one task each. It was a go get ice, fill coolers with ice, go pick up plate of sandwiches. And all of the tasks had a Post-it note. So if you wanted to clean the kitchen, that was on a Post-it note. But if you wanted to get the heck out of there and go do something else, that would be more in your skill set.
Right.
So if going to pick up sandwiches or filling the cooler.
So you had like your boys walking up and grabbing their task?
And they did it.
That's smart.
It was awesome. Now, my poor kids, we've been doing this for 19, 23, and 25 years now. So they get it. But it was great. I just had to download all the tasks into like a usable form. And I even had it like, Thursday tasks were on one cabinet door and Friday morning tasks were on another, and they knew it. And it was, what can we do? What can, like, go fill up the, put gas in all the cars because we had some driving to do between the wedding and the reception.
I'm doing this in my house now going forward.
It was awesome.
Forget your Thanksgiving. We're going to have an entire wall of Post-it notes from now on in this house.
And they just knew. And by the time everybody showed up on Friday morning, all the Post-it notes were gone. Thank goodness, because the rest of my family would have totally given me a hard time about this. But it was amazing, and they could do it, what they wanted to do and what they were good at, and it kept us all on track. So if something like that would work and would help,
I'm doing it.
It plays to the strengths of I need to get the heck out of here.
I love this that you came up with this for Thanksgiving planning, and this is how this house will be run going forward. I'm going.
I love it.
Dad, why are there so many Post-it notes? Mrs. Klimczak said on the podcast that from now on, just put all these things up on the wall. You guys will do them. You guys will just do them. You know?
They also so in my kids' defense, I might have been a little stressed out like the day before. Not actually, everything worked great.
People were grabbing Post-it notes so they didn't die.
Okay,
that's what you're telling
Mom's
me?
going to freak out if there are not fewer Post-it notes. And the work has to actually be done. It's not just making the Post-it notes disappear, but it's actually doing the work. But it was a way for me to like not have to micromanage, and they could pick something they wanted to do.
Nobody wanted to get to the end of the day and Mom goes, show me the Post-it notes you completed, and they only had 2 of them. Like that would have been a problem.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So it was just a way for me to delegate and think it. I mean, we all made the Post-it notes too. Like we all sat down and talked about what needed to be done.
They did. Of course they helped.
They did.
You were screaming at them. That's the picture I have.
Not screaming.
I have the picture now that you were standing there screaming at everybody.
Ever heard me scream?
And then there were Post-it notes.
I have never screamed at
however
people.
you get it done, it sounds like it gets done all the time. It's a great tip. And what is your show about this week?
So my show this week, oh my gosh, is about taking notes and learning from every experience.
There you go.
So I hope you find that helpful. Thanks for the plug at the beginning.
I like giving you plugs.
Your Organized Life at
right. You can find it anywhere podcasts can be found, and always
at peaceofmindpo.com.
There you go.
Thanks for having me. Happy Thanksgiving.
Building relationships, supporting the community, and service. These are the things that Country Financial stands for. They're more than just an office you may pass by as you drive through Evergreen Park. They're neighbors who lend a helping hand and support the fabric of your community, including charitable organizations, sports, financial education, and civic organizations. And since Country is already your neighbor, they want to get together and chat. Call your local Country Financial representative, Mike Thauer, today at 708-425-1559 to talk about the things that are important to you and how he can help you protect them. It's now time for your EP podcast, Word on the Street, a brand new provider for all of Evergreen Park for waste and recycling. It begins on January 1st of 2024. Flood Brothers Disposal Company will now be doing all the weekly garbage, recycling, and yard waste collection in the EP. You are going to be getting full details mailed to you in the coming weeks. And hopefully very soon we'll have somebody on from the village to tell us all about this one. That's a big change, deciding somebody else is doing all the garbage and recycling and yard waste. I wonder what's going to happen with curbside leaf pickup. That is going on right now. The truck rotating between the quadrants. Be patient, it's going to get to you. They are asking that all your leaves get placed in the green yard waste bin before you put them on the curb. I don't know, you drive around Evergreen Park, I don't think anybody's listening to that, honestly. But that's what you're supposed to be doing. The EP podcast Word on the Street is brought to you by Spoke and Vine Wine Bar and Bottle Shop, northeast corner of 95th and Kedzie. Stop in and check out all the new wines brought in from around the world. They are constantly updating that. I know they have a wine tasting event coming up. They got great small plates, good food, great date night, 21 and over. Once again, see more at spokeandvinewines.com. Evergreen Park Community High School is hosting an open house Wednesday, December the 6th, 5 to 8 p.m. for 7th and 8th grade students. All you Evergreen Park kids get in there and learn about their academic programs and see the school's state-of-the-art facilities. And the day this episode comes out, Tuesday the 21st of November, from 6 to 8 p.m., get over to the EPCHS Sports Complex at 2700 West 91st Street. It is Gym Jam, a fun youth night for all EP residents, 5th to 8th grade, basketball, kickball, volleyball, football, golf, dodgeball, and all kinds of games. Bring a water bottle so you don't get dehydrated. Register in advance. schools.snap.app/EvergreenParkHS. For the rest of what's going on in Evergreen Park, we're going to bring in our final guest. and he is brought to you by SidSauce.net, the only place I get my hot sauce from. You like a little mango? You like a little heat? You like a lot of heat? There is something for every palate. Get the hot sauce with peppers grown in Evergreen Park and developed right here, delivered to your door for free. Go to SidSauce.net. Joining me on the phone line right now are a good friend from over at the Evergreen Park. What would I say that you're from? The community center, Glenn Panuski?
The community center.
Community center.
That would be, yeah. No, it hasn't been. They haven't renamed it after me yet. Maybe about 50 years.
Right.
But that's,
One day, the Glenn Panuski Community Center. But no, Glenn does an awful lot of good work over there. What do we got going on as the holiday approaches here and into December? What's the big thing you're working on?
Well, okay, obviously, just a little note out there that we will be closed on Thanksgiving Day and the day after. Now, that's the Village Hall, the community center, everything. If you are in the Southwest Quadrant, your normal garbage pickup, which would be that Thursday, will be pushed to Friday. So just alerting everybody of that early. And then all the village offices open up again on Monday.
Well, that works out, the garbage pickup, because I'm a Thursday. Right? And now I can throw out all of my holiday stuff for Friday and get it right out of here. So it works out great for me.
I know, right? I'm rather envious of that.
Yeah.
So, and then, of course, the next big thing that we've got coming just around the corner, I've often said that when you get to Halloween, after that, your feet never hit the ground. So we're talking about Thanksgiving, and then right around the corner, we've got the big Dickens Christmas Festival here at the Community Center on Saturday, December the 2nd. From 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., and we've got Santa, we've got tons of kids' activities and vendors and food, and that's always a good time. That is followed then at 6 o'clock by the annual tree lighting. Mayor Burke will officially light the tree for the season at 6 o'clock. There'll be a nice little program there, music, and it's always very, very nice.
It's always a nice time. I enjoy that festival. You hope that it's not going to be like, negative 20. I don't know if we're going to get that this year, though, because we've had mild temperatures the last couple of weeks. So maybe we get a really nice day out there. I know that you guys do some fun stuff. Are you bringing the trolley back with the carolers on the trolley?
The people can take their trolley rides. They've got a lot of things, face painting, and they've got a lot of real Christmassy things planned. So they start working on these things like back in July and August, believe it or not, just so folks know how much work goes into this thing. And then at the same time, now I'm giving you some secret news here. The Recreation Department does have Santa Claus's secret cell phone number. Therefore, if the parents would like to schedule a surprise visit from Santa to their homes in and around Christmas, give the Recreation Department a call at 708-229-3373.
So wait, this is not Santa. This is not Santa calling them on the phone. This is the parents can get a hold of Santa. Then Santa can stop by.
That's exactly right. And those visits actually begin on December the 8th. And so he's been doing that for us for the longest time.
What is the requirement on Santa showing up? Is Santa expecting a meal? Does he just want cookies like I give him on Christmas Eve? Do people prep for Santa showing up at the house? What have you heard?
Well, what you do is if there are particular things that you want Santa to bring, you let the Recreation Department know, and then the parents sometimes can prearrange, for those things to be delivered to the Recreation Department so that Santa can come grab that bag and take it to the house.
Okay.
So, what can I say? Santa works for tips. So
Santa works for tips. That's funny.
You don't have to feed them. You don't have to offer them anything like that. So he's happy to do it.
Tipping culture is getting out of control, Glenn Panuski. What else do you have going on?
Right, I know. And then if after Christmas, you got a couple of weeks of the kids being home and you would like to get them involved in a day camp of sorts, we have the Christmas break camp, which begins literally the day after Christmas here at the community center. So again, give that, if that's something that you'd be interested for your child to do, give the rec department a call, 708-229-3373. They can give you all the details. And then our big Recreation Department Candlelight Theater Christmas show is coming up. Now, we during our season we kind of flip flop. We will do things tailored for adults, whether it's plays or dramas or comedies. But in this instance, it's Christmas, and Christmas is for the kids. So we have our big youth theater ensemble show. It is called The Day Before Christmas. Happy, fun little show. Jack Frost has a crush on Susie Snowflake, but they have a little fight, and he decides to freeze North Pole so that Santa can't deliver any gifts that night. And it's all the North Pole folk trying to warm Jack Frost's heart. And so that is the story in a nutshell. That show opens on Friday, December the 8th, continues on Saturday the 9th, and closes with a 3 o'clock matinee on the 10th, the Sunday. And the tickets are $12 for adults, $10 for seniors and students, and they are available here at the community center or at the senior center where the show takes place on the day of the show.
What does a Glenn Panuski do on Thanksgiving? You got it coming up this week. Like, what is it? Are you cooking? Are you going someplace else? Are you bringing a side dish?
Let's just say that I won't be home.
Won't be home.
Yes, somebody else will be doing the cooking, probably a restaurant.
Okay.
But actually, Thanksgiving, I actually miss having, the big family dinners at the house, but not this year.
All right. Well, so if you're out there and you got an extra seat, it sounds like Glenn's looking for one. I'm just throwing it out there to people. Maybe like a new tradition, Glenn. You just kind of show up at a random Evergreen Park house and eat their turkey.
I like that idea. Yeah. What else we got coming up? Oh, Sounds of the Season, the City Lights Orchestra concert over at Holy Redeemer. It takes place on Sunday, December the 17th at 7 p.m. The tickets are free. You can get them here at the community center, a limit of 4 until they are gone. And I'm going to be honest with you, probably by the week after Thanksgiving, those are going to be gone. This particular week, we're open Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, then open again next Monday. So they are going fast. It's always a great concert. I will be there. I will be up in the balcony manning the spotlight. So I will wave at anyone who turns their face up towards me. Here's something for, it's designed for seniors, but basically anybody. If you are in the mood closer to Christmas for a baked ham luncheon, followed by some wonderful Christmas music by the vocalist Vito Zatto, you can come to our OCS Senior Council luncheon, which is Thursday, December the 21st, and 11 a.m. program start, although the lunch probably isn't served till closer to noon. The tickets for that are $10. They can be purchased at the Office of Citizens Service office by Monday the 18th. And then, of course, Paisha's keeping busy, too, in the youth department. The coat drive continues through the end of this month. And it looks like she's got a special movie night coming up for kids grades 5 through 12 on Friday the 22nd. It's a $5 fee, but includes a hot dog, popcorn, drink, and the movie. And I know you've talked to Paisha a lot. She keeps that place hopping.
Awesome. Glenn Panuski's on top of everything going on. And again, I mean, the guy is busy.
Well, just let's keep things real here. I am the partaker of information, but like I say, it is the departments here that do the heavy legwork on, the recreation department with that Dickens Fest and the youth department and here at the OCS. They are working 24/7 basically. So, and they give the information to me, and I'm the one that gets to go on the phone with you. But please, those folks work very, very hard.
All right, take care of yourself.
Thank you, sir.
That's the EP Podcast, back after a very rare week off. I got to apologize for that. I was sick as a dog, but I'm back now. Listen, just a quick note for you. I know a lot of people listen to us when they see the links up on social media. You should know that they're not making that easy anymore. Elon Musk has Twitter turned into a single letter, and there's a lot of weird stuff happening there. And Facebook is doing everything they can to try to block us from getting our show out to you unless we want to give them a bunch of money to do so. So remember to subscribe. It's really easy. Go to the eppodcast.com and you're going to see a bunch of options. We're on every podcast app there is. You go to iTunes, we're there. Spotify, we're there. You like using YouTube? we're there. Do not miss an episode. And we will see you next week, anywhere podcasts can be found, and always at the eppodcast.com.
It's the EP Podcast. All things Evergreen Park. It's the EP Podcast. Evergreen Park.